Hello, welcome to Long Shot Larry's Sports Astrology. Today we're looking at the Superbowl 56. Los Angeles Rams are playing the Cincinnati Bengals. 13th of February, 3:35 is the kickoff time in Inglewood, California. It's actually at the LA Rams home stadium. This is the biggest sporting event in US sports annually. So the Los Angeles Rams have traded heavily to try and win the Super Bowl this year, and Cincinnati are the Cinderella story led by Joe Burrow. They've come from the clouds really to be in the Super Bowl. No one really predicted that this year. This is the first Super Bowl in history without a top 3 seed playing. So let's have a look at the game chart here. The main aspect I'm going to be focusing on today is Jupiter over here at 10 degrees Pisces applying to a sextile to Uranus. It's the main influence I can see working on this game. You also have Venus is actually applying, well, Mars is applying to a conjunction to Venus because Venus is moving so slowly here. The start here I've got is 3:35, which is 6:35 p.m. Eastern time. The time is scheduled for 6:30. I had a look at last year. It started about 7 minutes late. And it is quite tricky because you'll notice that the part of fortune here is 0 Capricorn. If we start a little bit earlier, it's in Sagittarius. So it will change the sign that it's in. Los Angeles Rams are the favourites, so they're going to be represented by the ascendant here with Leo, and Cincinnati are the underdogs, so they're Aquarius and Saturn. There's no standout indicators using the Frawley method here, so I'm going to move straight on to the individual teams. Okay, looking here at the first game for the LA Rams, you can see that Uranus and Jupiter are aligning with the MC here. You can also see that Saturn is quincunx the Sun, applying 50 minutes, so that is not great. And you can also see that natally the LA Rams has the Sun trine, Jupiter trine, Uranus. Now that is important, I think, because Uranus and Jupiter are sextile, so you want to have a nice resonance to those two planets. So that looks okay. Let's have a look at the coach, Sean McVay. And I've got the progress chart on the outside as well for Sean McVay here. So first thing you can see is an Aquarian Sun, so we should relate quite well to Jupiter sextile Uranus. Jupiter is conjunct, where's Jupiter? Jupiter is conjunct his progress Sun, applying, and Uranus is sextile. I like that. I think that's probably one of the strongest influences we have here, and you'll also see that natally his Uranus is sextile Jupiter, so we should relate well to Jupiter sextile Uranus. Now we're going to look at the LA Rams quarterback, and I'm using progressions as well for the quarterbacks today. You can see here the main aspect is Saturn is applying to his Aquarian Sun. Now that can go either way. He has been trying very hard, or Matthew Stafford's been trying very hard to win a Super Bowl. He was unable to get very far at Detroit. He's been traded to the Rams this year, so this could be his year of recognition. I actually think that's a positive aspect for Matthew Stafford. He's got the Sun conjunct Mercury sextile his Jupiter. Potentially the part of fortune is on his Uranus or progressed Uranus, which rules his Aquarian Sun. Neptune is conjunct his progress Sun. I'm not exactly sure what that means. That can be that can be either positive or negative. And his Jupiter is trine Uranus wide natally, which is once again helpful for this Jupiter sextile Uranus, which also helps with his Aquarian Sun, this Jupiter sextile Uranus. So overall the LA Rams look quite good. Let's have a look at Cincinnati. So looking at the first game chart for Cincinnati, once again we can see Jupiter and Uranus are quite closely aligned with the MC, which is very positive. Mars is applying to a trine. Well, it's just separating from a trine to the Sun, but applying to a trine to Jupiter. So that's very good. So I'd have to say on the first game charts, I'll probably give the edge to Cincinnati. Let's have a look at the coach, Zach Taylor. So you can see Zach Taylor is a Taurus, Saturn is square, his Sun, that's probably too far away, 2.5 degrees to be noticeable today. The part of fortune may be opposing his Venus. Now Venus rules his Taurus Sun, so that is one potential negative. You can see here his progress Sun is trine his progress Pluto, which is very nice. Why, the only reason I can really say they've had such a fantastic year Uranus is semi-square his progress sun, and square his progressed Venus, which rules his Taurian sun. That can go either way. It's a link to Jupiter-Uranus. Natally, he has Jupiter conjunct Uranus, which is a very strong resonance to Jupiter-Uranus. So potentially he looks okay as well. The only concern I can see is that part of fortune opposing his Venus, really. If we look at quarterback Joe Burrow, you see he's got a Sagittarian sun, so this Jupiter sextile Uranus, that's quite nice resonance for him. Mars is conjunct his progress sun, which is a team degree area with the first game, if you remember, the Sun, Jupiter, and Venus as well. So that's quite nice. The only thing I can see is that the Moon is going to oppose his progress Jupiter in 2 degrees, which is conjunct his Neptune, and Jupiter rules his Sagittarian sun. So in about 2 degrees, 4 hours, a Super Bowl game does go for about 4 hours. It's a minor negative. Potentially the part of fortune is square his Saturn and his progress Mars there. He's got his progress Mars opposite Saturn, which is definitely difficult to win under, which lines up with the Venus for coach Zach Taylor. So a minor indicator, but few negatives. So looking at this in summary, the LA Rams, the thing I really like about them is that Jupiter conjunct the progress sun for the coach and Saturn conjunct the sun for the quarter. They're the 2 strongest aspects, I think, for LA Rams. They're both Aquarians with that Jupiter sextile Uranus. If I look at Cincinnati, yeah, they can definitely win this. However, I don't think it's as strong as those conjunctions for the LA Rams. So I'm going to go with the LA Rams because I think those conjunctions to the progress sun of the coach and the sun of the quarterback are the stronger influences today. So should be a good game. I think the slight edge or the edge, I think the edge is with the LA Rams today. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.